And today we kind of wanted to talk about what you need before you look for a job. So, this is kind of a scary process to begin looking for a job. But if you have these things in order before you start, it's a lot easier to transition into interviews and then eventually gain an employment. So I got about like 8 or 9 points that I thought were important. And these are things that if you come to PRN and you get on our caseload, we can help you with all these things. We have resources for it, or we can just directly help you attain these things. And it'll just help with the whole employment process. So starting off, having these things, which are pretty simple and most of you guys probably already have, but it is important because you're going to need it for applying. Obviously your name, having a physical address to put on your resume, and the applications, having a phone number, a good working phone number, to receive text or calls, because that's how they're primarily going to reach out to you if they're interested. Like after you apply, usually they're going to either email you or call you to set up an interview if they're interested. So also having a good working email address that you have access to is important. And then knowing your social security number is really important. It's good to just go ahead and have your card, but at least knowing your number so you can put that down. Like if say you get hired, you're going to need that for your tax information, other important stuff like that. Let's see. You want to go? I can do this one. Resume. So having a good resume, an up-to-date and accurate resume. This is definitely something that we can help you with. We have a program we use called Job Hero, and it just makes really nice-looking professional resumes, and it's really simple. So it kind of offers like suggested job descriptions. So say you were a forklift operator, it comes with a bunch of descriptions that other people have used that sound really professional. So a lot of the work, the difficult work in making a resume, this program does for you, which is awesome. And then just having it up to date, and relevant. I think that's an important thing with resumes. You can have a bunch of lists of different jobs. Say you're applying for a bank teller position, and then you have a bunch of warehouse experience on your resume. Like that doesn't really check out. So you kind of want to have relevant work experience to what you're looking for and what you're trying to get hired for. So that way they know you have experience in that field, and then you're going to be able to complete the job. Let's see. Next, it's going to be cover letters, which Ralph is going to tell you a little bit about.
How you doing? Why is a cover letter good? A cover letter, it differs from a resume in that allows you to showcase more of your personality as you write it directly to the person who is considered you for the job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a cover letter. A lot of people don't know about cover letters, and I honestly had to learn about cover letters in this position, just by doing some different research. But it's just different from a resume. It's much more personalized, so you're given like a more detailed like list of your experience and skills and your accomplishments. So say you're applying for, we'll go back to the bank teller position. You would go into detail about how you helped. Say you worked for Wells Fargo, but now you're applying for Bank of America. You're going to list like what you did at Wells Fargo and how you helped them accomplish certain goals and like your contribution to the company.
It's also like you're selling yourself.
You're definitely selling yourself. And it's personalized in the fact that it's specifically to someone. So I've done a video on this before. I'm not sure, it's probably been 6 months ago, that you guys can find on the Facebook or YouTube, that talks about like you're trying to write it to the person, like the hiring manager. So it's going to be personally like to, and then their name, whoever the hiring manager is. Anyways, moving on. Let's see here. We got references. You want to cover that one, Ralph?
References is a current, former supervisor or managers, customers or clients, co-workers or colleagues. People you might use as personal reference includes friends, neighbors, family members, people you know through church, hobbies, or other activities.
Right. Yeah. So there's like what he was saying was there's like two different types of references that you can use. You can use professional references, and having these lined up ahead of time before looking for a job. So just reaching out to these people and saying like, hey, I'm going to use you as a reference. So if they receive a call, they know what's going on. You have professional references and personal references. Like he was saying, the personal or professional references can be previous clients or customers, current or previous supervisors, managers, coworkers, or colleagues. And then your personal reference could be like family, friends, people you know from church or hobbies or your neighbors even. Let's see. Next is going to be a transcript. So certain positions, depending on what you're applying for, you may need to have proof of your college degree or your high school diploma or your GED. So if that's the case, you're going to purchase that through the place that you got the degree or diploma or GED through, and they're going to send an official transcript to your employer. And that's just like an educational summary from an educational institution. And then next, certain jobs are going to require certifications. So having proof of your certifications, just a document, you could have a completion letter from the class or whatever, and then your actual certification paper, and just having that ready and handy for your applications or interviews. Let's see, and then you can do the identifications.
Identifications. You need 2 forms of ID, your social security card, license, passport, and something that just shows who you are.
Yeah, birth certificate is another example.
And always know your social security number just in case you don't have one in general.
Right. And this is a good place to have like your social security card. I mean, you need that for a lot of things, but this is really helpful for employment. And if you don't have those things, we actually met a resource last week at a job expo. They're called Vote Riders, and we have a phone number. You know what? I'm gonna actually go ahead and add that in for you guys. Here's a phone number if you guys want to reach out to these people. They will help you and pay for your IDs. If you need a social security or birth certificate or a driver's license, they will pay for that.
And they also even help with your driver's license paid or anything like that if you need help with that.
Yep, they will not pay for your fees though. If you have like some tickets you owe on or something, they were clear about they can't pay for that. But they will help you with the fees to get the license and such. But here is that phone number. So I put that on there, Vote Rides. Oh, I misspelled that. Whatever. It's Vote Riders. And the phone number is right there, 844-338-8743. Let's see. All right, so next is going to be availability. So certain jobs are going to need you for a certain block of time in the day. So just being able to come with your availability and knowing what that is for the job. So if they're looking for a first shift, you need to show that you have availability for a shift on the days that they're open or that they need you for. And then you can do this next one, Rafi.
The interview clothes. Interview clothes are always good because you always want to give your best look when you get there. It's like if 5 people go and people are just dressed regular, someone's dressing tie and all that, it's always good for that because you want to give your best shot out when you first get there.
Absolutely. Yeah, just having appropriate, I wrote it on there, appropriate and professional clothing, so and dressing for the occasion. So if you go to like a very professional job at a bank, you want to be in suit and tie. Mm-hmm. That's what they're looking for. They're not looking for business casual, which you might do if you're applying for, a warehouse or something. If you show up in a button down and nice pants, that's fine. But if you show up in that for, say a corporate job or something, it's going to look bad. So kind of knowing your audience is important. And then lastly, we got work clothes. So just having clothes that meet the dress code standards. For the ladies, that's just appropriate clothing, that's not showing cleavage or midriff or whatever, and for the men, not wearing tank tops, wearing clothes that's going to be appropriate for the work environment, and it could be, something like work boots too, like having steel-toed boots if you're on a construction site. You need to have that beforehand. So when you start, you have clothing that's appropriate for the work environment. And that's pretty much it. That's the things that we came up with for, what you need in preparation for a job. A lot of these things we can help you with directly. If you want to come in and speak, I'm going to put my phone number on here. You guys can feel free to call or text me, and we can set up an IPS interest meeting if you want to meet with us. We got 3 people. Our supervisor Cedric's out of town right now, but me and Ralph are holding down the fort. So here's my cell phone number. You can call or text. If I don't pick up, please leave a message. Or you can just show up to PRN. We're at 2224 The Plaza here in Charlotte. you show up, you come to the help desk. Her name is Kim, and she will get you set up with us. No need to call beforehand. If you show up, that's completely fine. And next month, second Monday of the month, we'll be having another class. Not sure what the topic's going to be. I might go back around. I did some detailed classes on resumes and cover letters, kind of just walking people through the process. So we can maybe we'll circle back around and do that again, just to do it. That's a good refresher to have. Or maybe we'll do something different. I don't know yet. Anyways, hope you guys have a